Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Betting Insights. I am your host, Timothy. Go ahead, smash the like button, subscribe to the channel. You don't want to miss what's going on here. As you know, we are discussing 5 different club competitions across Europe: Serie A, La Liga, Eredivisie, Bundesliga, and the Premier League. We will get to the picks for the upcoming weekend in just a sec, giving you all the information you need to beat the book. But let's do a quick recap of the picks before the international break. Now we had a solid week. All picks and leans were pretty much solid. Best bets just 3-3, and I should have went 4-2 if not for that horrible pick, which I told you guys I would be kicking myself. Vitesse, they go up early, and after that they just lay an egg. And I'm not here to defend my pick. I took an L, which is fine. My counterpart was on the opposite side. He picked Heerenveen, and he was just spot on. Vitesse, of course, their coach resigned right after the match, which was very telling. So that was just a horrible pick by me. So I should have went 4-2, still 3-3. Not bad, but let's move forward. I want to touch on a couple of picks before the international break. One of the picks was AC Milan. Now we both liked AC Milan to win, and they should have won. They went up 2-0, and then they blew the lead. Now, listen, guys, I am not caping for any of the betting sites. You are free to use which one you like. I have zero interest in promoting any of the betting sites, but I usually use Bet365. Now, the thing that I like about Bet365 is the early payout. If a team goes up 2 goals, you get an early payout, no matter if the other team pulls a comeback. Now, it doesn't happen often that a team blows a 2 goal lead, especially if they're the better team. But guys, it's football. Sometimes it happens. And if you use Bet365, your ticket just cashes, as did mine. Now, the other pick I want to touch on is Tottenham. We both also like Tottenham to bounce back after their defeat against Chelsea, but I said it on the show, it was kind of a bad spot for them. They played a Monday night game with 9 men, very hard fought. Then they had to go on the road in an early Saturday game. So tough spot for them. But until the 90-minute mark, and that is also a good spot to cash your ticket. Guys, it's football. Sometimes you can just feel it coming. If a team is up closing the 90-minute mark, if they're up by just 1 goal, just cash your ticket. That's just some information. This one and the AC Milan using Bet365. That's just some information for you guys to beat the books. Like I said, you are free to use whichever betting site you like. All right, enough of that. Let's get to the reason why you guys are all here. All picks and leans for the upcoming weekend. Let's start with the Eredivisie. First game on the schedule, Excelsior hosting Feyenoord. Excelsior wins set at 15, Feyenoord wins set at 1.21, line for total goal set at 3.5. Now, I don't have a bet in this game. I expect Feyenoord to win this game. They're coming off a good home win against AZ, and now they travel to Excelsior. Now, this is a derby, so it might be a hard-fought game for Feyenoord, which is why I'm staying away. I'm not betting this game, but I expect them to get the win. Just bagging Feyenoord is low value, but they should get the win here. Like I said, it's a derby, so it may be hard fought, but there are already 7 points behind PSV. Also, knowing that PSV has a tough matchup visiting Twente, so they will see this as a chance to close the gap, and Feyenoord should win this game. All right, let's get to the next game, which I just touched on. Twente hosting PSV. Twente wins set at 3.95. PSV wins set at 1.92. Line for the total goals, again, 3.5. Now, the over 3.5 is set at 2.4. Less than 3.5 is set at 1.57. So the books are actually expecting this to go under 3.5. PSV continued their undefeated streak. Now they travel to Twente, a team that already beat Ajax and Feyenoord. PSV yet to drop points, 100% record. This late into the season with just 5 goals allowed is pretty remarkable. Twente coming off back-to-back slip-ups against Utrecht and NEC. The last game against NEC was the first time they dropped points at home this season, so it's a tough place to play, and I expect a tough matchup for PSV. PSV is the better team, but like I said, yet to drop points this late into the season. They won't go undefeated, so this is a good spot to back Twente. and expect PSV to drop their first points of the season. The last time PSV won at Twente was back in 2018, so further confirms my pick. I got a double chance for Twente in this game. All right, let's get to the next game. Heerenveen hosting Fortuna. Heerenveen wins set at 1.98. Fortuna wins set at 3.9. Line for the total goals set at 2.5. Now, Heerenveen, 2 league wins in the last 3 games, while Fortuna has 4 straight road losses in the league. Also, yet to pick up a win on the road. What surprises me is that both of these teams are in the top 10 with how awful they've played at times. Heerenveen still shaky, but against such a bad road team, I guess you have to back Heerenveen in this spot. Fortuna did smash Heracles in the last outing, so they may be high on confidence, but Heracles is bad. Fortuna won't put up the same performance here, especially on the road. So double chance for Heerenveen should be the play here. I can't see Fortuna getting a win in this game. Next game, Ajax hosting Vitesse. Ajax wins set at 1.3. Vitesse wins set at 9.5. Line for the total goals, again, 3.5. Now, as we touched on earlier, Koker resigned right after the defeat against Heerenveen, while Ajax have a hard time buying a win at the moment. Ajax still struggles in defense. Ajax allowed 4 goals in the last 2 games. Vitesse allowed 8 goals in the last 2 games. I expect this to go over the total of 3.5. I'm not high on backing and the over 3.5 goals, but I expect the over. Although my best bet in this game, one of my best bets for the show, is both teams to score. Now, both teams to score is set at 1.73, which is very good value given that the over 3.5 is set at 1.98. So very good value in backing both teams to score here. Like I said, both teams bad defenses. Both teams should get on the score sheet. That's the obvious play here. All right, let's get to the next game. PEC hosting RKC. PEC wins set at 1.77. RKC wins set at 4.7. Line for the total goal set at 2.5. RKC continued to struggle and were kept scoreless once more in the last game. Only 8 goals scored so far and 20 allowed. PEC's defense is not much better, actually worse with 21 goals allowed. RKC lost every every road game but one, while PEC has just 2 home wins, so I would be careful backing the home team here. Now, given the bad defenses, I am leaning towards the over 2.5 in this spot, but RKC really struggles to find the net. So this is a stay away game for me. I don't think the home team should be that much favored in this game, given how bad they've played at times. So I would, like I said, I would be careful backing the home team. I'm staying away from this game. Let's get to the next game. Almere City hosting Heracles. Almere City wins set at 2. Heracles wins set at 3.8. Line for the total goal set at 2.5. Almere City, one of the hardest teams in the league, while Heracles looks like one of the worst teams right now. Heracles only picked up 2 points on the road so far this season, while Almere City is undefeated in the last 3 home games. Now, so both of these teams are heading in opposite direction. Now, Almere City is trending upwards, like I said, so this is a good spot to back Almere City, especially given that they're playing at home. Heracles just bad, trending downwards. Now they go on the road. They got smashed in the last game and by Fortuna. So now they go on the road, visit Almere City, who's in good form. So you have to back Almere City in a win here. No other play to do. All right, let's get to the next game. NEC hosting Go Ahead Eagles. NEC win set at 2.35. Go Ahead Eagles win set at 3. Line for the total goal set at 2.5. For some reason, both of these teams are undefeated in the last 5 games overall. But the Eagles are 5th in the standings, while NEC is 14th in the standings. Now, the Eagles have a superior goal difference, but if you look close, there are some holes to poke. They were actually outplayed by RKC in terms of possession and expected goals in their last road game. And RKC, like I said earlier, a pretty bad team. So I can see them winning back-to-back games on the road. but also tough to back NEC given what they've displayed so far. So for me, it's a lean towards the home team. A double chance for NEC should be the play here. I can't see go ahead Eagles winning back-to-back road games. They're a completely different team on the road. All right, let's get to the next game. Asset hosting Volendam. Asset wins set at 1.19. Volendam wins set at 17. Line for the total goal set at 3.5. Now, last couple of tough games for Asset, but this is a perfect bounce back spot. They should get the win here. They're playing at home. They're coming off a defeat against Feyenoord, but no shame in losing to Feyenoord, especially on the road. One of my best bets for the show, Asset three-way handicap. Asset wins with at least a two-goal margin. That's an easy play for me. Just a no-brainer. Volendam stinks. All right, let's get to the next game. Sparta hosting Utrecht. Sparta wins set at 2.3. Utrecht wins set at 3.1. Line for the total goal set at 2.5. Now, Utrecht undefeated in their last 5 overall and are trending upwards, but still find themselves in the relegation zone. Of course, they were dead last a couple of weeks ago. Sparta, usually a very solid home team, but 2 losses in their last 3 home games. Now, one loss was against Almere City and the other one was against PSV. Almere City, of course, one of the hottest teams in the Eredivisie at the moment. PSV, just the best team at the moment. Utrecht has not scored in 3 straight road games. Also, they average less than a goal a game. So, Sparta, I have a lean towards Sparta. A double chance for Sparta is the obvious play here. If Utrecht were to get a win out of this game, they should at least score twice, which I can't see them doing. Like I said, scoreless in the last 3 road games. So a double chance for Sparta is the play here. Now that wraps up the Eredivisie. Let's get to the Bundesliga. All right, first game in the Bundesliga. Keulen hosting Bayern Munich. Keulen wins set at 10.5. Bayern Munich wins set at 1.26. Line for the total goal set at 3.5. Now the line tells you everything you need to know. Bayern Munich should win this game. Now, Keulen is just one of the worst teams in the league. Actually, they're fighting with Union Berlin to be the worst team in the league. So Bayern should make quick work of Keulen. Like I said, just a bad team. Try a handicap for Bayern. Bayern wins with at least a 2-goal margin. Other than that, stay away from this game. It could go over the 3.5. It could go under. I don't like either one of them. Either a 3-way handicap for Bayern or just a stay away. All right, next game. Borussia Dortmund hosting Borussia Mönchengladbach. Dortmund wins set at 1.48. Gladbach wins set at 6. Line for the total goal set at 3.5. Now, Dortmund back-to-back league losses against Stuttgart and Bayern Munich, while Gladbach is undefeated in 3 and just dispatched of Wolfsburg in their last outing. Now, Dortmund, like I said, back-to-back league defeats. They got smashed by Bayern. They put up a better performance against Stuttgart, but were on the road, still lost. Now they go back home. They should get the win here. Dortmund has won the last 10 home meetings versus Gladbach, with Gladbach last picking up a win in 2014 at Dortmund. So expect that to continue here. Back Dortmund in a win. All right, let's get to the next game. Werder Bremen hosting Bayern Leverkusen. Bremen wins set at 6.75. Leverkusen wins set at 1.45. Line for the total goal set at 3.5. Now, Werder Bremen picked up a good result against Frankfurt, but now they host just the flat-out best team in the Bundesliga, just a flat-out train. Leverkusen, and listen, guys, I am not stepping in front of that train. Leverkusen, just the best team in the Bundesliga. They should get the win here. They will slip up at some point, so I'm not betting this game, but I expect them to make quick work of Werder Bremen. Bayer Leverkusen should win this game. All right, next game, Freiburg hosting Darmstadt. Freiburg wins set at 1.58. Darmstadt wins set at 5.6. And the line for the total goals is set at 2.5. Darmstadt has 1 road win, losing all their other road games. But I don't know what to make of Freiburg. very, very inconsistent. Just one win in their last five. Uh, 54 goals allowed between these two teams. Pretty bad defenses. So I am going for the over 2.5 goals in this spot, set at 1.64. Pretty good value given the bad defenses. Like I said, 54 goals allowed between these teams. So the over 2.5 is the play here. All right, let's get to the next game. Union Berlin hosting Augsburg. Union Berlin wins set at 2.06. Augsburg wins set at 3.7. Line for the total goal set at 2.5. Now, Union is just going down like a spiral, but are somehow favorites in this game. Augsburg yet to lose under their new coach. Union was shut out again in the last game and have been shut out in the last four league home games. What may explain the line is that Augsburg has one road win all season, but Union has 6 straight home losses, failing to score in the last three. So I guess you have to back Augsburg in this spot. Very heavy favorites. Um, Tough road team. Like I said, just one road win all season. So I'm going for the double chance of Augsburg here. I just can't back Union in this spot. They've been awful the last couple of games, more than the last couple of games. Like I said, I just explained everything. Union just flat out trash. All right, let's get to the next game. Wolfsburg hosting Leipzig. Wolfsburg wins set at 3.85. Leipzig wins set at 1.94. Line for the total goal set at 3.5. Now, after back-to-back defeats, Leipzig has now picked up back-to-back wins. They sit fourth, while Wolfsburg continues to slip with just one win in the last five and 0 wins in their last five league games. Wolfsburg already beat Leipzig in the cup game a couple of weeks ago, but Leipzig played with a man less and still dominated possession. Wolfsburg is really trending in the wrong direction, as the 4-0 defeat they suffered from Gladbach said. That was really telling. You have to back Leipzig in this spot, and very, very good value in backing Leipzig at 1.94. So I'm just going to back Leipzig in a win. Go with me here, guys. All right. Next game, Eintracht Frankfurt hosting Stuttgart. Frankfurt wins set at 2.7. Stuttgart wins set at 2.55. Line for the total goal set at 2.5. Frankfurt is kind of on a roll here, undefeated in 7, while Stuttgart may be coming off their best win of the season after back-to-back defeats. Frankfurt is undefeated at home and also undefeated in the last 5 home games against Stuttgart, but the last 3 have been all 1-1 draws. At this point, these teams might be evenly matched, so we're probably looking at another draw here. But Guirassy, the top striker for Stuttgart, is set to be back after missing the last couple of games, so that should give them a huge boost. They may just win this game outright. I'm gonna do a double chance for Stuttgart. Go with me here, guys. All right, let's get to the next game. Heidenheim hosting Bochum. Heidenheim wins set at 2.25. Bochum wins set at 3.10. Line for the total goal set at 2.5. Now, Heidenheim 1 win and 4 losses in their last 5, while Bochum has 1 loss in their last 5. Now, Heidenheim has a slightly better goal difference and are playing at home, while Bochum looks to be in better form. Both teams have allowed 25 goals. 25 plus goals. So I'm gonna go with the over 2.5 in this spot. Good value in taking the over 2.5. Like I said, bad defenses, 25 plus goals allowed for each team. So we should see the over 2.5 here. All right. Next game, Hoffenheim hosting Mainz. Hoffenheim wins set at 1.94. Mainz wins set at 3.7. Line for the total goal set at 2.5. Now, both of these teams have 1 win in their last 5. Hoffenheim has had 3 straight road losses, while Mainz has yet to taste victory on the road. After hiring their new coach, Mainz beat Leipzig, but looked completely different when they went on the road against Darmstadt, failing to register a single shot on target. So Hoffenheim has shown that they can score, but the bad defense remains a concern with 20 goals allowed. Still one of my best bets for the weekend. Hoffenheim over 1.5 goals. I'm not sure they win. Like I said, bad defense, but they can score. They should score at least twice here against Mainz. Good value in taking Hoffenheim over 1.5 goals. All right, that wraps up the Bundesliga. Let's get to La Liga. First game on the schedule, La Liga, Alaves hosting Granada. Alaves wins set at 1.85. Granada wins set at 4.7. Line for total goals set at 2.5. Granada still only one win, while Alaves almost shocked Barcelona in their last outing. So expect a letdown spot here. Alaves not good, not even at home, but Granada really struggles to score goals on the road. And when they do score, they allow at least as much as they score. So tough to back either team. This is a stay away for me. The home team is heavily favored, but I don't think they should be. Granada, like I said, only one win, so they may put up a fight here and try to get at least a point. I'm staying away from this game. Tough spot backing either team. Next game, Rayo Vallecano hosting Barcelona. Rayo wins set at 5.2. Barcelona wins set at 1.68. Line for total goals set at 2.5. Now, Rayo only one win at home, while Barcelona has not lost a league road game yet. Still, they look inconsistent on the road at times and sometimes very disappointing, escaping withdrawals, actually escaping defeats a couple of times. Fun fact, Barcelona has not beaten Rayo in the last 2 seasons, with Rayo winning 3 of the last 4 meetings. Rayo did lose 7-0 to Atletico Madrid earlier this year, but they usually defend tight, and that can cause some trouble for Barcelona. So I'm not backing Barcelona in this spot. As a matter of fact, I'm going for an upset here. I'm doing a double chance for Rayo and expecting them to shock Barcelona. All right. Next game, Valencia hosting Celta Vigo. Valencia wins set at 2.17. Celta wins set at 3.65. Line for the total goal set at 2.5. Now, Valencia fell defeat to Real Madrid in their last outing, but that was their first defeat in 5 games, while Celta still have a sole league win that came against Almeria. Valencia did win back-to-back home games for the first time this season, keeping clean sheets in both games. Also, Valencia won the last 5 meetings against Celta, scoring at least twice in each game, and Celta just in bad shape at the moment. So Valencia over 1.5 goals is the play here. Next game, Getafe hosting Almeria. Getafe wins set at 1.71. Almeria wins set at 5.5. Line for total goals set at 2.5. Now, Getafe 1 win in the last 5 league games, but 0 losses, so 4 draws. Almeria has 5 straight league losses. Another fun stat, Getafe is 11th while Almeria is dead last, but both teams have scored 15 goals, which is just pretty wild. Almeria, of course, a far worse defense, allowing twice as much as Getafe. So you can back Almeria in this spot. Getafe, a pretty solid home team, but like I said, they have trouble scoring. Scoring as much as Almeria is actually pretty bad, given their standing 11th in the standings. So maybe a draw here. Maybe Almeria sneaks out a draw, but I can't see them getting a win on the road. Very poor road team, so I'm gonna back Getafe in a double chance here. Next game, Atletico Madrid hosting Mallorca. Atletico Madrid wins set at 1.41. Mallorca wins set at 9.5. Line for total goal set at 2.5. Mallorca is just a bad team, only 1 league win. Um, I can't see a chance of an upset here. Atletico Madrid is playing at home, a very solid home team. So I'm gonna be quick here. Just back Atletico Madrid in this spot. Mallorca, I can't see them getting a win on the road at Atletico Madrid. Tough spot to play for such a bad team. All right, let's get to the next game. Villarreal hosting Osasuna. Villarreal wins set at 2.20. Osasuna wins set at 3.5. Line for total goals set at 2.5. Now, Villarreal, some ups and downs, win, loss, and Osasuna also very inconsistent. One positive note for Villarreal: Villarreal has scored in every game under their new coach, but that's about all you can say between these two teams. In five of the last six meetings, both teams got on the score sheet, and with both teams allowing 20 plus goals each, I expect the same here. So my play for this game is both teams to score, which is set at 1.75. So good value backing both teams to score here. Also, the stats back that up. All right, next game, Real Sociedad hosting Sevilla. Real Sociedad wins set at 1.76. Sevilla wins set at 5.2. The line for total goal set at 2.5. Now, Real Sociedad picked up back-to-back wins after losing to Barcelona and continued to build on their good start to the season. Sevilla, of course, a bad start, hired a new coach, but that hasn't changed anything. It's at least not much. Their expected goals in each game with the new coach is less than one. So that is very telling. They create very little. They have scored in most of the games, but that just shows you how much they struggle to create chances. And I expect that to continue here against a actually pretty solid Real Sociedad defense. Also, in the last five meetings between these two teams, not a lot of goals. Sociedad one home loss this season, and Sevilla zero road wins. I'm not expecting a lot of goals in this game. I hate going for the under, but I guess I have to pick the under 2.5 goals in this spot. Next game, Cadiz hosting Real Madrid. Cadiz wins set at 6.25. Real Madrid wins set at 1.54. Line for the total goals set at 2.5. Now, also quick on this game, Real Madrid is the better team. They already dropped points a couple of matches ago and against Rayo Vallecano. They want to keep pace for the title, so they shouldn't drop points here. Now, Vinicius Junior is ruled out of this game, but that shouldn't derail Real Madrid anyway. Should get the win here. All right, next game, Real Betis hosting Las Palmas. Real Betis wins set at 1.68. Las Palmas wins set at 5.75. Line for total goal set at 2.5. Now, these are, for some reason, two of the hardest teams in the Liga. Betis has not lost the game since mid-September. That was against Barcelona, while Las Palmas has one loss in the last six league games. Betis has five straight home wins overall, but Las Palmas picked up 7 points in the last three road games, which is very impressive. Scoring in each of the last four games overall on the road. I'm gonna back both teams to score in this spot. It's set at 2.02, so good value. Now, Las Palmas has trouble scoring. They've not scored a lot so far during the season, so not one of my best bets. But they have picked up their goal scoring form, so I'm just gonna back both teams to score in this spot. All right, next game, Girona hosting Athletic Bilbao. Girona wins set at 2.3. Athletic Bilbao wins set at 3.1. Line for total goal set at 2.5. Now Girona just continues to impress, and it's very hard to fade them, especially since they're playing at home. But they will really be put to test against a very solid Bilbao side. Girona only lost to Real Madrid at home, while Bilbao has just three losses against Real Madrid, Real Sociedad, and Barcelona. Of course, three very good teams. The last three meetings has seen over 2.5 goals, and with both teams averaging close to 2 goals a game, I expect the over 2.5 goals in this spot. I'm not gonna back Girona for a win. It's hard to fade them, but I'm not gonna back them for a win. They're very hot. They will drop points at some point. Of course, they've already dropped points, but they won't continue this amazing streak. And Bilbao is a very good team, so I'm just gonna go for the over 2.5 goals in this spot. All right, that wraps up Liga. Let's get to the Premier League. Game Premier League, early window right out of the gate. Manchester City hosting Liverpool. Manchester City wins set at 1.76. Liverpool win set at 4.6. Line for total goals set at 3.5. City was involved in a thriller with a 4-4 draw against Chelsea, but they still top the league. Liverpool just 1 point behind. Both teams are in very good form. This is another wild stat. Liverpool has not beaten City at home in the league since 2015. City, of course, a 100% home record this season, while Liverpool surprisingly has one road win in their last five overall. Now, it's a high total, the goals, it's set at 3.5, but I'm still going to go with the over. Both teams are very scoring at a very high clip, so I'm just gonna go with the over 3.5 goals in this spot. I'm leaning towards City, given how they've dominated this matchup at home, but I like the over 3.5 goals much more. Next game, Burnley hosting West Ham. Burnley wins set at 3.6. West Ham wins set at 2.12. Line for total goals set at 2.5. Now, Burnley, just an awful team. They're awful on the road, they're awful at home. West Ham bounced back good in a very good way, beating Nottingham Forest in their last game. Burnley just continues to struggle with six straight defeats. Burnley is now the worst team in the league, and I can't see how they get things right here. They are just as awful as at home as they are on the road, like I said. 30 goals allowed so far for Burnley and just 9 scored. West Ham, 22 goals allowed and 21 scored, so not that much better in terms of goals allowed, but they do score more. West Ham is the better team, but they have three straight road losses. Still, you can back Burnley, so just a double chance for West Ham here. And I also like the over 2.5 goals in this spot. All right, next game, Luton hosting Crystal Palace. Luton wins set at 3.75. Palace wins set at 2.17. Line for total goal set at 2.5. Now listen, these are two very bad teams. I want to lean towards Palace because they have the better team, but neither team is in form. I'm just gonna call this one a draw. Neither team is averaging more than a goal a game, so expect a low scoring draw. All right. Next game, Nottingham Forest hosting Brighton. Nottingham wins set at 3.3. Brighton wins set at 2.23. Line for total goals set at 2.5. Last time Brighton won a game in the league was end September, but are undefeated in the last five overall. Nottingham surprisingly undefeated in the last four home games, but Brighton should get back on track here. Not a lot of reasons to back Brighton in this spot, but they need a win very bad. And with the international break, they get a chance to refresh, rejuvenate. They are the better team. They have the better players. They're desperate. So I'm going to back Brighton in a win here. All right. Next game, Sheffield United hosting Bournemouth. Sheffield wins set at 3.4. Bournemouth wins set at 2.25. Line for the total goal set at 2.5. Now, with Luton hosting Crystal Palace, these are maybe the two least interesting games of the Premier League this week. I know both teams have a surprising win in the last 2 weeks, but these teams are just horrible. And spoiler, I might not watch this game. These are just two bad teams. You can't back either one of them with confidence. So this game is just a stay away for me. Next game, Brentford hosting Arsenal. Brentford wins set at 5. Arsenal wins set at 1.8. Line for total goal set at 2.5. Now, Arsenal is obviously the better team here, but for some reason, Brentford just loves beating on teams from London, beating West Ham, Chelsea, and picking up a draw against Tottenham. And last season, pretty much of the same. Brentford fell to their first defeat after 3 wins in a row, and Arsenal has back-to-back wins after back-to-back losses. Brentford has never beaten Arsenal at home, but Arsenal winning just one of the last 5 away games is a slight concern. And like I said, for some reason, Brentford lost beating on teams from London. So I'm gonna do a double chance for Brentford here. I'm gonna fade Arsenal. Expect them to drop some points. All right. Next game, Tottenham hosting Aston Villa. Tottenham wins set at 2.38. Villa wins set at 2.85. Line for the total goals set at 3.5. Tottenham coming off back-to-back losses, and like I said earlier, it was a bad spot for them going on the early window against Wolves after they played with 9 men against Chelsea on a Monday, so short week. Villa has one loss in their last 9 games overall, and also have beaten Tottenham in back-to-back meetings. They also have won 2 out of the last 3 at Tottenham, so maybe a tough spot for Tottenham. Still, I'm going to back them. Back-to-back losses. The international break couldn't have come at a better time. They get a chance to rejuvenate, re-energize. Coming home, they should get back on track here. Also, Villa not a bad road team, but they're very different on the road. Of course, they're one of the best home teams, but very different on the road. I'm gonna back Tottenham in a win here. Expect them to get back on track. Next game, Everton hosting Manchester United. Everton wins set at 2.85. United wins set at 2.6. Line for the total goal set at 2.5. Now, Everton seem to be picking up form with just 2 losses in their last 9 games overall, while United managed to escape with a 1-0 victory over Luton. Still, Everton got deducted points for breaching the rules, so I think this will be a letdown spot for them. They were just coming into form after a pretty rough start to the season. Now they get deducted points, which is a huge blow. Moral may be low, confidence may be low. Also, this is the healthiest United has been all season. I know they're still missing Casemiro and Martinez and some other players, but it's the healthiest they've been all season. I am expecting United to get a win here. I'm going to back United in this spot. Not a lot of reasons to back United, but like I said, Everton may be low on confidence, moral may be low. Maybe they galvanize around each other and fight for a win here. I think the deduction of the points will be a huge blow for them, and United will take advantage of that. I'm going to back United in a win here. Next game, Fulham hosting Wolves. Fulham wins set at 2.55. Wolves win set at 3.05. Line for the total goal set at 2.5. Wolves bounced back in a good way, beating Tottenham, although they left it until injury time. Fulham struggles, they continued as they were beaten by, of course, a better Arsenal team. Wolves have been mightily inconsistent on the road, but it's not like Fulham is a good home team, so this has all the ingredients for a draw. Fulham also just 10 goals scored all season. Wolves 1 win in the last 5 road games, so I am expecting a low scoring draw here. All right, next game, Newcastle United hosting Chelsea. Newcastle United win set at 2.75. Chelsea win set at 2.7. Line for the total goal set at 2.5. Now, this is a game where I will wait to place a bet on. I'm still monitoring the injury report. Newcastle were just very depleted before the international break. I still some players are right now listed as questionable. If a lot of those players return, I might back Newcastle in this spot. If they don't, I might back Chelsea in this spot. But Chelsea coming off back-to-back solid games, winning against Tottenham and then picking up a draw against City. So this also may be a letdown spot. But if Newcastle still has a lot of those injuries, I might just back Chelsea in this spot. So I'm just gonna wait on this game. All right, that wraps up the Premier League. Let's get to Serie A. First game, Serie A, Salernitana hosting Lazio. Salernitana wins set at 4.8. Lazio wins set at 1.8. The line for the total goal set at 2.5. Lazio not a great team, but they are visiting the worst team in the league. Each of Lazio's last 4 games has seen under 1.5 goals. So I'm leaning towards the under 2.5 in this spot. But with such a bad defense in Salernitana, that is a very risky spot. Lazio 13 goals scored, 13 goals allowed. So offensive problem, defense kind of solid, but I'm just gonna back them in a win here. It's tough to go with either the over or under 2.5 goals. All right. Next game, Atalanta hosting Napoli. Atalanta wins set at 2.65. Napoli wins also set at 2.65. So pick them here. Line for the total goals set at 2.5. We said it a couple of times on the show. Napoli does not look like the team that won the Scudetto, and after the defeat against Empoli, they fired their coach. So that was also telling. Now they travel to Atalanta, that has lost only to Inter at home, but Napoli somehow are undefeated on the road and have won the last two meetings at Atalanta. Usually, you want to back the team with the new coach. They get inspired, they get some energy, and especially if the teams are very close to each other. But I pretty much wonder here. Napoli has won the last three against Atalanta, but with Atalanta's good home form, I expect at least a draw for Atalanta here. So I'm gonna do a double chance for Atalanta. Next game, AC Milan hosting Fiorentina. AC Milan wins set at 2.1. Fiorentina wins set at 3.75. Line for the total goal set at 2.5. AC Milan, like I said earlier, they blew a 2-0 lead against Lecce in their last game and are now without a league win in 4 games. Fiorentina picked up an impressive result beating Bologna in their last game, but now they visit AC Milan team that will be eager to pick up a home win. They have won the last 3 home meetings versus Fiorentina. These teams are very close in terms of goal difference. AC Milan back-to-back league home losses without scoring, so I expect them to get on the score sheet here. I also expect Fiorentina to get on the score sheet. They have won the last 3 against Fiorentina at home, so I'm leaning towards AC Milan for a home, but I like both teams to score. All right, next game, Cagliari hosting Monza. Cagliari wins set at 2.9, Monza wins set at 2.5, line for total goals set at 2.5. Now, after a very rough start to the season, Cagliari has now lost 1 of 5 overall, with back-to-back home wins, scoring 6 goals in the process. That's half of the goals they've scored all season. Monza also only 1 loss in the last 5 overall. Coming into the season, Monza was obviously the better team here, but Cagliari is rounding into form. Both teams very low scoring, close to a goal a game, so Monza allows less than a goal, while Cagliari allows 2 goals a game. So maybe a difference in terms of defense. Still, I'm expecting a low scoring draw here. All right. Next game, Empoli hosting Sassuolo. Empoli wins set at 2.7. Sassuolo wins set at 2.55. Line for total goals set at 2.5. Empoli coming off a huge upset beating Napoli, and that made it 2 wins in the last 4. The other one was beating Fiorentina. So 2 very impressive wins, but still the lowest scoring team in the league with only 5 goals. Sassuolo pulled off a comeback draw against Salernitana, which was good but also concerning given they were down that much. And as we saw in that game, their defense is still a concern. Still, they have scored more than 3 times as Empoli, and if Empoli were to get something out of this game, they probably need to score at least twice, which I can't see them doing. I'm gonna back Sassuolo in a double chance here. They should at least sneak out a draw. Like I said, Empoli very low scoring, just 5 goals scored all season. All right, next game, Frosinone hosting Genoa. Frosinone wins set at 2.45. Genoa wins set at 3.05. Line for the total goal set at 2.5. Frosinone only 1 home loss against Napoli, while Genoa has also picked up some surprising results against Napoli, Lazio, and Roma. Still only 1 road win for Genoa on opening day, and they have been shut out in half of their road games. So Frosinone should pick up at least a draw here. Like I said, very good home team, only 1 home loss against Napoli. So the play here for me is a double chance for Frosinone. Next game, AS Roma hosting Udinese. AS Roma wins set at 1.65. Udinese wins set at 5.8. Line for total goals set at 2.5. Udinese, another surprising result, picking up a draw against Atalanta after beating AC Milan, and now they visit Roma. Udinese, also a team that struggled in the beginning of the season. but have picked up some good results in the last games. They are playing better now. Roma has 6 straight home wins, overall keeping 5 clean sheets in the process. So I can see Udinese getting anything out of this game. It may be too much to ask for Udinese um, going on the road and beating Roma. So expect Roma to get the win here. Um, they're the better team. They should get the win here. I really don't have a play as this game. I'm gonna stay away from this game, but I do expect Roma to get the win here. Like I said, 5 clean sheets in their last 6 home games, so very tough home team. All right. Next game, Juventus hosting Inter. Juventus wins set at 3.35. Inter wins set at 2.3. Line for total goals set at 2.5. Now, both of these teams are very hot coming into this matchup. Juventus has kept 6 clean sheets in the last 7 games, while Inter has kept 6 clean sheets in the last 9. Inter yet to drop points on the road, and Juventus a near perfect record at home. So something's got to give here. But for both of these teams, this might be their biggest test. Juventus won both meetings and kept a clean sheet in both meetings last year. We saw Juventus really struggle to score goals against some of the top teams, against AC Milan after AC Milan went down to 10 men. They also were involved in a scoreless draw against Atalanta. So they have trouble creating chances and scoring goals against the better teams, and Inter may be the best team in the Serie A. I expect Inter to get the win here. And with both teams keeping so many clean sheets in the last game, I am expecting the under 2.5 goals. Next game, Hellas Verona hosting Lecce. Hellas Verona wins set at 2.63. Lecce wins set at 2.95. Line for total goal set at 2.5. But the over 2.5 is set at 2.48, while the under is set at 1.54. So the books are expecting the under here. Both of these teams are just very awful. Lecce is just pretty much garbage. They had a good spark to the start to the season, but now they're just garbage. They have 2 things going for them. One is that they can build off the comeback, draw against AC Milan, and the other one is that Verona is just hot garbage. Verona is just awful with 5 straight league losses, and they just can't buy a win at the moment. Lecce at least has a lot of draws in the last couple of games, so I expect them to sneak out at least a draw here. I'm going to back Lecce in a double chance here. I can't see Verona getting a win out of this game. All right, next game, Bologna hosting Torino. Bologna wins set at 2.23. Torino wins set at 3.6. Line for total goal set at 2.5. Bologna was one of the hottest teams before losing to Fiorentina, and now they host Torino. Bologna has lost only 2 games all season, but yet only 2 points separates these teams in the standings. Bologna has already been involved in 3 scoreless draws this season. Both teams average about a goal a game and also don't allow much. So this should be a low-scoring game with Bologna getting back on track, sneaking out at least a draw on home turf. So I'm expecting a low-scoring game. I'm expecting at least a draw for Bologna, and that should be the play here. It's tough to back Torino going on the road. All right, that wraps up Serie A, and that wraps up all picks and leans for our upcoming weekend. Quick recap for my best bets. Tottenham over 1.5 goals. Hoffenheim over 1.5 goals. Vitesse Ajax both teams to score. AZ 3-way handicap wins with at least a 2-goal margin. Brighton wins and Atalanta over 1.5 goals. I hope you guys enjoyed the show. And like I always say, bet smart, bet with your head, set your limits, and stay within your means. Have a great weekend, everybody.